There we go. Okay, I think we should be good. Let me check mine on the other. Check my monitor to make sure we're actually live. Oh, is it just taking a while to get? Hey, there we are. Okay, cool. All right, well, welcome to the first Void Collector development stream. Let me know at any point if music's too loud or something. You can turn a little bit on my end. But yeah, today we're just going to be doing pretty straightforward stuff. Mostly going to be working on adding in a new enemy and adding in a new weapon. Oh, hey there, Subspace Strip Mine, welcome. Ooh, yeah, the song is very good. Let me drop a link for that, because I think that guy is really cool. Makes a lot of really good music covers. Okay, so while this is wrapping up, let's go into the general plan for today. Two main things I want to do: make a new enemy and program the functionality for a new weapon. That's pretty much it. I haven't streamed in a while, so I'm a little rusty. So, gonna try to do it nice and easy today. Right, just get my background music queued up. Make sure the audio mixing seems about right. Just want that to be kind of subtle in the background. Okay, all right. So, let's go ahead and start with making an enemy. And this is a guy I'm calling Slapmo, which I think should be fairly apparent why. So I've got all the sprites here. I made all these yesterday, so we can go ahead and start with all this. So what I'm going to do is grab these three guys, create sprites out of it, and let me know if there's any audio issues. I could probably listen back to my own stream for a second, make sure that sounds correct. Yesterday, so we can go ahead and yep, sounds fine. Okay. So now we've got these three sprites. And we can create a flipbook, and we'll just call it Slapmo Walk. So now what we've got is a admittedly very rudimentary walk cycle, but it'll work. Not much of an animator. So now we've got one of the animations we need. Then we're gonna get the damage, create sprites, create flipbook, and that's gonna be called Slapmo Damage. So we go on this, and then adjust the frames per second, so it looks about right. That'll do. And then we're going to do the attack animation. So get those sprites. Slapmo's the best name you could have given this guy. I'm glad. Because I quite like it as well. Which one was doing next? Yeah, Slapmo attack. So sprite actions, create sprite. And then we're going to take these three sprites, create a flipbook, and call it Slapmo Attack. Nope, that's a sprite. Oh, there it is. I don't know, he keeps trying to open these on my other monitor. It's kind of annoying. Yeah, there we go. Hopefully that'll look good in action. And then we're going to go ahead and do the death animation, which these are the ones that I would say are definitely the most fun to make, because I can just kind of go pretty absurd with it. So, alright. Go through those. And create flipbook. Slapmo dead. And here we can see that in action. Let's make that, let's try 10 frames, see if that looks a little... Yeah, I think that works. Still pretty quick, because we don't want the sprites to linger too long, because that just can kind of make it look a little visually busy. So we're going to keep it nice and focused, just around 10 FPS. Okay, so what we're going to do is go into blueprints and enemies. I made a separate folder for that, didn't I? Yeah, enemies. So we're going to go ahead and make a new blueprint, make that a character, and that's going to be BP Slapmo. So for easiest, say generally just to make this pretty straightforward, so what I'm going to do is base a lot of this off of another thing that I've already made, just because that's going to speed up the process. But it's still kind of, I could just copy paste all the code over and then redo it, or just change the sprites and stuff. But I think it's a little faster personally to just do it. individually for each one, because then there's so many different little differences you want to consider with each character that I feel like it makes a little more sense just to redo it when it's not actually that much code in the first place. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the event begin play. So, first thing we're gonna want to do is cast to BP first person character and get player pawn. And what this allows us to do is just basically access the main code for like a first person player, and this allows them to do things like deal damage and access certain variables if they need to. So what we do is promote this to a variable, and we can just call this variable whenever we need to access certain pieces of information from the code. So we're going to do a bit of code here, get number of cells, and what this lets us do is add 1 to the cell count. So you can see here in the top here, the cells count. What we're doing is writing the code to allow that to properly update. So put an add operator, add 1, and plug that in. So now whenever we have one of these guys spawn in the world, it should increment. Oh, right. There we go. And then we're going to want to set a new variable called dead, and this will be very useful for tracking certain functions later on. So we're going to get there, set dead to false. Alright, let's go ahead and drop them in and see if that works. We should be at 2. Yep, 2 cells, so that piece of code is working. Alright, so next we're going to do stuff on event tick, and this is code I'm probably just going to copy over. This is going to be code that runs every single available frame, basically, so we want to try to use this as little as possible, because this will start causing some potential lag if we're calling on it too much. So what we're doing here is something to make sure that it's always facing the player. And to make sure that's working, let's go ahead and add a flipbook. And I'm going to make the source to slapmo block. Oh. Very large. So we're going to scale him way down. Said he fits within this hitbox. And rotate him around to 90 degrees. There we go. Now if that works, then he should be facing us at all times. Yep, that works. I think my game's starting to run a little worse because I'm trying to stream at the same time. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go back into the event graph. And now this is where the code starts to get a little messy. We're going to call event any damage. So whenever the enemy is shot and whenever it takes damage, this is the code that'll run. So first thing we need to do is get this and set juice. So what we want to do is that whenever you shoot the enemy, the juice that basically the damage you deal gets returned to you as juice, just as a way to have a little bit of extra sustain. And this code's kind of a nightmare. It looks gross, so I'm just going to copy that over. But all it does is get the juice and then add the damage that you've done to it, and make sure that it doesn't go over the max as well. Okay, so next we're going to want to set paper flip. Actually, let's get the flipbook first. That, and set flipbook. And this is basically all what we're going to do to set up the visual controls, or control what it looks like visually. So it's taking damage. We're going to take slapmo damage. Okay. So now whenever he gets hit, he'll go to that. Play sound to D, and this will be the sound that plays whenever he takes damage. So let's try to do something. I don't have any actual sounds for this quite yet. Let's just go with something ideally a little subtle. Here, camera shutter. That'll do for now, until I get some proper sounds in. Okay, so here's where we need to hook up the damage value here. This is where it gets a little complicated. So, oh, I forgot to set a health value. going to create a new variable, call that health, and make that a float. So now we have a way to track how much health the enemy actually has. Let's go with 30 for now. Something pretty simple, straightforwards. So we're going to get health, and I'm going to set it to... yeah, there we go. We got to get damage, and... Wait, how did I do this again? This is not hard, I'm just stupid. Okay, health, subtract by damage, and there we go. So now we'll set health to however much damage they just took. Then we're going to want to run a branch. Oh yeah. Okay, so this part is a little bit convoluted looking. So I'm gonna copy paste some of my other code in just to make this a little bit less so. So I'll explain a little bit of this as I go through and fix it all up. But it is a little messy. So if damage equals 10, then what we want to do is run this event called shotgunned, and basically what I'm doing here is Unreal's blueprint system reminds me of Scratch. Yeah, Unreal is not Unreal. Scratch is what I started with, so using this sort of visual-based code I found to be a lot more intuitive than something like Unity. Sorry if I don't respond to the chat right away, by the way. I've got my my other blueprints on the other monitor, so it's a little hard to see, but I'll still be checking it as much as I can. Okay, there we go. Now I've got a good system. So what we need to do is make a custom event, and we're going to call that shotgunned. So basically what'll happen is whenever we take specifically 10, whenever the enemy takes specifically 10 damage, it'll call this event. Now this is helpful because it allows us to specifically control how much damage or launch they take from different events. What did I hook this into? Damage, yeah. Yeah, you can see this is where the code really starts to get a little messy. That's the wrong one. There we go. And if damage equals 15, I think that's it for those. Okay. That's wrong, shotgunned. Shotgunned. And then drag that into here. Okay. So now what'll happen is it'll call this every time we take 15 damage. Or 10 damage. 15 is for this one. So let's go ahead and make the other events just to make it a little more... So that way the code will actually compile. And custom event. Die. Dragoned. And die. Okay, so now all of these should be functional. Now we need to go in and actually program what each of these does. And this is a similar situation to the last one, where it's kind of easier just to drag in the code I already did. But in short, what this will do is it'll get the direction that the player is facing and then launch them in the opposite one with a certain amount of force. So, let's go ahead and see if that works by switching to the double barrel. Oh, gotta change that. Can't wait for this to either blow up or not get popular. Hoping for the first one. Let's think optimistically here. Okay, so that works. Let's go ahead and set this to walk for Slapmo. So now whenever he takes damage, yeah. There we go. That looks nice. And then let's go code the dragon. So this one is also pretty simple. All this does is just whenever you take damage from the uppercut, then it will launch the character pretty far upwards. Let's just move them over here so it's a little closer. So now they should go flying upwards. Yep, perfect. Alright, so now we're going to go into die and code what happens whenever the enemy dies. So first what we're going to do is set dead to true, and with this just makes it a lot easier to track a lot of certain elements. Then we're going to get some other code in that I've already done. And what this does is just retract the number of cells by 1. So that way the counter in the top left will accurately update. Then what we're going to do is add 30 juice to the player as a reward for successfully killing the enemy. Then we reset the combo counter. Should make this one long. Yeah, I am doing the rock-on is actually the weapon I'm planning on programming today. Somebody in the comments had a really good idea to make that a bull charge, so I'm gonna try that. Is there an estimated release date yet? There probably isn't, since the first devlog was posted 4 days ago. Well, I'm not gonna get too far into this, but I'm graduating college in a year, and it is my goal to have this done before then. So, considering the scope of the game isn't huge, I'm gonna say April 2025 is like the target. I don't know if I'll hit that. Maybe I'll go a little over if need be. Maybe it'll come out a little faster, but that is the goal. Anyways, so we reset the combo meter, and then we will add 1 to the combo gauge, that way it ticks up properly. And then we will play a sound effect for the enemy dying. And then we will grab the flipbook, and we will set flipbook. Go. And then what we'll have this do is play the Flipmo, not damage, Flipmo dead. So that way it'll properly animate when it dies. And then what we're going to do is add a delay, and we're going to get the flipbook, and get flipbook length. So what this will let us do is play the entire duration of the flipbook before it goes ahead and destroys the actor. So this should make sure that the enemy will have will properly animate everything we want it to do. Okay, yeah, looks good. Alright, so what we're gonna do now is make the enemy actually work. So to get that set up, we're gonna have to add pawn sensing, and this is just a component that'll let the enemy see you. And how far should I set that? I always forget what I set it to. 15,000. Yeah, let's go 15,000. Is that an idea for a peace sign weapon? Make enemies not attack you when active. Probably be too similar to the bird. I do actually have an idea for this kind of an action. I like the idea of like a rock, paper, scissors stage where you have to you go through different gates that you have to switch different hand poses to beat. Like you find a rock door and you have to beat it with paper, and you find one with scissors that you gotta beat, that sort of thing. But also adding in like scissors as a kind of weapon is an idea I had. I'm sort of conflicted about adding extra weapons because I want to give the player a large arsenal to work with because that's just, fun. But I don't want to go too far. Just because it's also very possible to have a bunch of bloat and weapons that are kind of just filling extra space without really doing much of anything. So I'm trying to very carefully consider adding in any additional ones. Okay, sorry, I should explain what I'm doing. So this is on C pawn. So basically whenever this enemy sees the player, this is what they're going to do. So first thing we got to do is set up a branch and get dead. So basically what we're doing is if they are dead, then they can't attack. So then we can set AI move 2. Then get reference to self. Thumbs up grenades. Like you do thumbs up as you can throw a grenade with a thumbs up? What do you mean? Because that sounds kind of cool. I like the idea of using a grenade. Like maybe you could do like a TF2-esque like sticky jump if you use a grenade and then like use it as a launch or something. I like that. That's a cool idea. I like that. Because like I was saying, I don't really want to add enemies. I don't want to add weapons that overlap with each other or like fight too much for the same space. So something like that where it's a grenade would very much fulfill its own niche. Thumbs up grenade would go crazy. Yeah, see, the more I'm thinking about it, the better of an idea that sounds. Okay, so next what we're gonna do is add a collision sphere. Nope, grab it. There we go. So this is gonna be the attack radius. So whenever you enter this, then the enemy will attempt to attack you. It's like a grenade and the thumb is a pin. So like that. Make this a melee. Okay, yeah, that could be like, I did actually have that originally as like a poke, but I feel like it's kind of competing with the shotgun if it just like does knockback. So it'd have to have like some sort of specialized niche, like maybe it has like a piercing shot or something. That could be kind of cool actually, like it go through multiple enemies at once. That could work. That could work. Because we are kind of limited on melee right now. Somebody had a pretty good idea that I'm thinking. Well, I know for sure I want to implement this one, where it's like an open hand stance, and what you can do is like go towards an enemy and like pull them towards you. Because I really like the idea of like grabbing the enemy, yanking them in, punching them upwards, and then using the shotgun. I feel like that would be a really, really fun combo. So that's what I know I want to do that additional like melee option for sure. But that's a fun idea, and that's a fun idea. See, this is why it's fun to stream this. There's a lot of really good suggestions already. Okay, so now what we're going to do is code it so the enemy will actually hit you properly. So I'm going to cast to BP first person character. Go. So this is just making sure that whenever it overlaps with the player, this is the code that it'll run. Not speak correctly today. Okay, so hook that up and get another branch. So basically what we're just doing here is making sure that the enemy cannot attack you if it's dead, and we're going to go into, move this down a little bit so we have more space to work with, go into character movement, and get is falling. So what this is going to do is make sure that if the enemy is falling, then it can't hit you. Set flipbook. So this is going to set the animation of the enemy actually attacking you. Makes sense a little loud. If you feel like adding rock on, you make it play an electric guitar sound. I could do that because it's kind of like a bull charge. The plan right now, anyways, is to make it like a bull charge. But that'd still be like a fun sound effect. Maybe combine like a bull thing and a guitar thing. That does sound stupid, but I think good stupid, for sure. Attack. So now we're going to set the animations, that way when it gets in range, it'll do the attack, and it'll play sound 2D of... I'll just go with the bouncer attack sound. Okay, let's see if this works. You walking? Oh, I forgot to write the code that switches the sprite back. Oops. But that works. He runs at me and he slaps. Okay. So now we're going to set up some code for launch character. And what we're going to need to do here is get the reference, get first person. Actually, I need to get how do I call this again? This is some spaghetti code I've done here. Oh wait, no, I got it over here. I can just copy it. There we go. So what this is doing is getting the current direction that the player is facing, and then it'll launch them backwards a bit. So this is the code from the bouncer, so it's going to be a little intense. I'm going to turn that down a little bit, because I definitely want the enemy to get hit backwards, at least some amount. Mostly to ensure that they don't get like swarmed by other enemies. It gives a sort of an inherent like escape method. I think it just also feels a little better, more intuitive. Especially the way that damage will work in this game, where you get hit once and you get put in like a damage state, and if you get hit again, then you like actually die. Okay, delay, make that 0.4 so it can't attack too quickly. These refer to combinations with the weapon name in binary, like 00100 for the bird. Ah, okay. That's a good. Yeah. That makes sense. So I would for how the code refers to it, the pinky is 1. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here on the keyboard, you press 1, and that toggles the pinky. Hey, well, the pushback works. I might have to make that a little stronger. But yeah, that's a good way of referring to it in chat. That'll make it a little more immediately intuitive. Although it's funny that the emotes, you get like little emotes would be good. Like you can show the hand pose with the emotes. I guess it doesn't have all the same customization. Like you can't set each individual finger in like those kind of images. Okay, so we're gonna set him back to Slapmo Walk. Oh yeah, I need to grab this, and we'll say apply damage. No, not apply damage. Damage? Take damage. There we go. And this is a custom event I've already written that will run the code for damaging the player. Yep, he's taking damage when he gets hit. I think I want him to get knocked back a little bit. Ow. Okay, well that loud sound you just heard was the death happening. I don't have a respawn system programmed in yet. Oh, that's not supposed to happen. It seems like whenever he's hitting me, I immediately take damage twice? That was strange. Okay, I'll have to fix that. Whoop. Let's bop. Man. Okay, that works. Let me go ahead and make sure that invulnerability works. I don't know if I've actually coded that in yet. So this is my first-person player. This is all the code that runs that. So I'll have to figure out how to make this a little less abhorrent. Would OK hand be 1100? That'd be... I think that would be all of them, but... hold on. Why can't I figure this? Okay, yes. I think that would be 00011. Because these would be out and these would be in. That would be OK and. Mario Stomping could be fun. Yeah, I consider that'd be a good synergy with the uppercut. Like if you could land on an enemy's head and... Oh, why is the game lagging? That was weird. Yeah, that'd be good synergy. Okay, I don't know why the game's running so poorly all of a sudden. Pop. Anyways, as I was doing, completely forgot that... where do I have the... Take damage? Yeah, okay. If damaged is true, then die. What I need to do before that is run a branch and grab... do I have invuln? I do have invuln. Okay. I cannot remember if I set this up already. So this is just going to be a check to see if the player is invulnerable, then none of this will happen. So if invuln is true, nothing happens. If invuln is false, then the code runs as normal. So here I should take damage. And if I've got this up, then no damage. Alright, that works. Let's go. Nice and easy. Okay, I think I want to do two things. I'm going to slightly increase the push force from when he hits you. I think that would just feel a little bit better. Yeah. I'm going to give it a little more upwards velocity, actually. Because it's not really sending me up at all. And it's still not really sending me upwards. I guess it's because it's going off the forward vector. I can do a separate, like, upwards launch. Oh wait, I can just code it here. What am I? I'm not. It's because I'm not plugging the Z in anywhere. What am I? I'm stupid. Dumb. Now it should send me upward. I need to fix those sound effects. They are playing too fast. Okay. But it looks like everything for this guy is working. I'm probably going to need to do some more balance tweaks, though. I don't really see... I want all the enemies to be able to at least be some form of a threat. I think inherently an enemy that can only hit you with melee in a first-person shooter is hard to make that good without them being particularly obnoxious, so I'm not going to worry about it too hard. Like, this guy is mostly a form of a fodder enemy, but I think if I give him a faster walk speed, then they could actually be pretty threatening. Let's give him a subtle... well, it's not subtle, but an increase to 900. I forget what the sniper-like weapon was called, but if it pushed you back in the air, it could be a fun combo tool. Yeah, the bill payer. Yeah, I could definitely see that working. Especially if you aim down or something and it launches in the opposite direction. Because then that would help give it a movement niche. And that's been a topic that a lot of people have brought up, which I think makes a lot of sense. Of sort of combining weapons, moving. How to phrase this? Adding movement tech onto the pre-existing weapons. Instead of adding like more purely weapon-focused or movement-focused weapons, giving pre-existing weapons ways of doing movement. Could the bird also act as a parry if timed right, reflecting bullets and such? That's a cool idea. The only problem is coding it, because I genuinely have no idea where I would even start with that. But that is a cool idea. So it's hard to be mad at a parry too. I feel like everybody can appreciate a good parry. Okay, I need to fix whatever bug is causing that to play twice. Because there should be a delay. It shouldn't be able to... Oh, because the delay doesn't mean anything. It doesn't actually have anything to factor that in. I know what I gotta do. We're gonna add a bool called timer. There we go. And add a branch. Okay, no. Branch doesn't go here. I'm dumb. We're gonna set timer to true, and then we're gonna set it to false. By the way, I feel like I should mention this. So I've been doing game development stuff, you know, past like 5 years at least. But realistically, I've been like dabbling in it since I was like 12, so like a decade almost of game dev stuff. And that's a devlog I've made in this stream. There's actually people showing up, which is very strange. I'm not used to that, but I want to express I'm very, very thankful for everyone being here. It's a lot of cool. It's very cool to see there actually be like any form of interest in something that I'm working on. So now we're gonna add a branch. Where does the bill pair's name come from? So it's actually kind of like a mishearing, because I like TF2 quite a bit, and you know there's the sniper class I enjoy playing, and he's got a lot of lines about how sniping is a good job and whatnot. So like yeah, it's a weapon that pays the bills, because I thought he said that like it paid the bills. He doesn't say that. That's not. I just made that up entirely. So it's a quasi Mandela effect reference to TF2 sniper. Okay, yeah, so this if timer is false, then that should work. So now we should guarantee... Do I have that backwards? What if I set this like this? Okay, now he just can't hit me. What if I just... Maybe the delay is just too small? What if I make it really high? Like 2 seconds? Okay, no, it works, it works. I think the delay was just too small. Make that 0.6. That's still kind of fast, but I feel like that probably gives you a little bit of time to escape at least. Maybe? I'm also realizing that my stream to chat is very, very delayed. I think next time I stream I'm gonna look into maybe... I don't know how to fix that. I'm hooked up to Ethernet, so it should be fine. I don't know why it's... Whoop. That was weird. Alright. Instead of thumbs up grenades, what if ring, middle, and pointer was a grenade launcher? So this. That could be interesting, because that uses more fingers that aren't already getting used, because the thumb is pretty frequent, whereas the index and ring don't really get anything. In the middle, I think... No, middle's also used in this. Boom. That's a good idea. That could work. Yeah, I'll have to toy with that, because I'm definitely down with the idea of a grenade launcher. Loving this. Trying to make the coding stream engaging. You're doing a fantastic job. Hey, thanks, man. Really, really appreciate that. I'm glad to hear it. This is, I worry about making them interesting, too. So I'm glad to hear that, that you're enjoying it. Alright, so we've got a functional enemy. Yippee! He's pretty fast. Not really. I think, considering he can only do melee hits, I think I'm gonna make him slightly faster than the player. Although I forget what the player speed is. 1,100. Okay, let's make him 1,200. Okay, well that's kind of interesting. If he gets too close, it kind of... Yeah, outrunning him is actually a challenge, which is good. That's what I'm looking for. I might make him a little faster, but then take any form of knockback when he gets hit at all. So that way he's going really quickly at all times, but you can always shoot him to slow him down. I think that'll be probably the best way to balance that out, so that way they are a genuine threat if you're not focusing on them, but they're not overly aggressive. Pinky and thumb being a phone would be funny. What if it's tea that heals you for 50 juice? I'd have to carefully balance something like that, because letting them regenerate juice super quickly that could potentially mitigate some of the risk reward. You know, if it's so aggressively weighted on like being able to get your resources back really quickly. So some sort of a way to balance that. I have considered like adding a juice regeneration weapon. I just don't know how to balance that. Where was I? Sorry, brain shut off for a second. Okay, I think it's time to program this guy. Oh, I didn't even... No, that's right. No, I did the code for the bird. It's just run somewhere else. Actually, let me explain where this is. Sorry, I just jumping around. So this is the BP weapon code, and what this does is it'll just run different bits of code depending on the weapon. It's very convoluted, but what it'll do is go through each set of code. It'll check to see what weapon is firing when you shoot, and it'll play the sound effect. It'll do like a line trace, just like a... you know what? I'll just show you what it does. So what we'll do is we'll do this. I forgot to make him take knockback. I forgot to take knockback. I moved out too quickly. Alright, there we go. So, yeah, we do like this, and then it'll trace a line, and then figure out where the hit is, and yada yada. Oh, it meant that it heals you, but costs 50 juice. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, that could be interesting. Okay, I said I got disconnected. Am I back? I'll keep an eye on the stream on the side, I guess. Yeah, no, I like that idea. That's a good idea. What if phone has a chance to get either 25 or 20, or minus 25 or plus 20? Ah, gambling. I would not mind having a gambling option. I just worry that like if you have gambling in a speedrun, it might make it like reliant on who, like you might make the speedrun a little reliant on just like who gets the better luck, you know? But gambling is funny. Connected. Okay, cool. Little disconnect notification giving me a heart attack. Alright, so I was gonna do the weapon stuff, but I gotta rein myself in. I'm talking too fast, because I still need to make this guy, when he takes damage, I still need to make him properly get launched. So let's go ahead and I can just take the code from here. And the most important thing about launching a character is not only just that it will physically send them away, but most importantly, it'll set their acceleration to 0. So even if it's like a very minor launch, which is what I'm going for here, like something really subtle, it will forcefully slow the enemy down. So he's going real quick. Oh, and now he stopped. Ooh, and now he stopped. Yeah, I think that'll be a pretty fun way to balance that guy out. Let's turn off that debug tool. 99% of speedrunners quit right before they phone it big. That's true. Wait, that's actually true. Alright, let's code in the rock on. Now how do I want to do this? I don't know. So here's what I'm thinking. If you guys have played TF2, you might know Demo Knight. And how he works is that he's got a sword and he's got a shield. And he can right click to do a big charge. And the later into the charge that you hit an enemy with your sword, the more damage that you're gonna do. So maybe the bull charge could work in a similar way. So you got a big charge, and if you hit near the tail end of the charge, then you can do big damage. Now, cool idea. Problem is, that sounds kind of complicated to code. I mean, that's not really a problem, that's just something to keep in mind. Or it could be a simpler option of just like do a big charge and then apply knockback, but then if it just applies knockback, then then it's a close range knockback option, which kind of overlaps a little bit with the shotgun, which is also a close range knockback option. So it'll need something to differentiate it. Obviously you can go fast, so maybe it could be more of like a movement utility of like it'll boost your speed dramatically while it's active, and maybe it knocks enemies away from you while it's active, but in exchange it'll like really quickly go through your juice. So like you could shove through a group of enemies, but it's going to be very, very expensive. But it could potentially be like a good AoE tool or something. Like maybe you've got a thin pathway with a bunch of enemies on it, you just bull charge on through and blow them all off to either side. That could be kind of fun. I think that's what I want to do, actually. That sounds like a good idea. TF2, the charge is supposed to extend your melee range. The code states that it does. Swing connects while charging, so it doesn't work. Well, that's TF2. Most things in TF2 do not work as intended. Game is made of spaghetti code. That reminds me, I actually had a horrific realization the other day that the way that I coded my uppercut to work, originally I was going to have like a big like hitbox, but programming that was kind of annoying, so I just had it do like a line trace from where you're facing straight forwards. And then I was watching a TF2 video, and I learned that that's how that game does it, and that's a game infamous for its jank melee hit detection. So I might have to figure something else out, but it seems like it works. Because I think the main issue with the TF2 stuff is that you can hit other teammates with it, so it's kind of jank, but... cost 10 when charging and 10 extra for every enemy hit. Now that's kind of a cool idea. So you could charge through a bunch of enemies, and it could be a good regen tool. I like that idea. Oh, why did my playlist stop? Weird. I need to add more stuff to my playlist, actually. I need to add like Yakuza music and stuff. I've been playing a lot of those lately. Yeah, sure, we're getting the ace turning right off the bat. Okay, so first things first, pretty simple. We can just increase the movement speed of the player. Actually, first we're going to want to set a timer, because this is going to be something that's like a limited effect, and you cannot switch weapons while it's active, I'm thinking. Undertale has a ton of spaghetti code no one noticed when playing. Yeah, I mean, I think that's true of most games, indie games in particular, but even, as you can see with TF2, even big games made by big studios. I think coding video games in general is just spaghetti nonsense. Lunch break is over. Have a great stream. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Probably going to be doing this every Tuesday, maybe Thursday. I don't really have a set schedule. Probably once to twice a week. Streaming is fun, but it kind of drains my brain. Okay, so I'm gonna have a branch, and if rock on timer is false, then we're going to get this, set movement speed, walk speed. What? Oh, I need to get the character move. Can I not spell movement? There we go. Yeah, you can't just set that directly. You have to get the separate character movement, like, module. Alright, so then what we can do is set... now we can set walk speed. Set walk speed. Right now it's at 1100, so let's say 1600. Nice, substantial increase. Definitely have to reanimate some stuff for this. Oops. Get rid of that guy for now, so we can do the weapon testing in peace. We'll put him back in once we got some damage stuff to make sure that's functioning. I did not change my movement speed. Oh, because I hit set to true. I am dumb. Yep. Alright, so now we've got a noticeable uptick in movement speed. Because I kind of like the idea, actually. Can't switch weapons when charging until an enemy is hit. Yeah, that's another potential idea. Definitely something to make it different and give it limitation. For sure, that's what we need. Yeah, definitely gotta experiment with it quite a bit. But I like the idea that this is something you could switch to, activate, and then leave. Like, this is a state you enter for, like, a short period of time. And then you would exit it after, like, a, set period of time. Gonna go ahead and do this before I forget. Actually, I'll put it in front of the timer, so that way, what this will let you do is, even if you're currently in the charging state, it'll still let you reset, basically. Am I missing some code somewhere? Am I not clamping it? I'm not clamping it. Why did I do it like this? No, that's how I did it elsewhere. Whatever. I'm just gonna assume that works. Is it a speed booster or a charge? That is a good question. It is kind of both. What I was thinking is that it's kind of a speed boost charging state. Where you can go fast and knock everything away from you while it's active, and then it disables itself. But it might be more focused if it is actually just like a charge. It could just be like a launch, like it just shoots you really fast in one direction. That does seem simpler at the very least, and it could just like zooms you in one direction and blasts everything else out of the way. Yeah, I think that's probably more fun, actually. Because the concern I'm actually thinking now with, if it's just like a straight speed boost, then that would mean you'd basically just want to be activating that at all times, even if you don't have like the juice for it. That'd be like such a high priority. I think that could overly dominate the gameplay flow. Speed boosts have a drain 10. Yeah, it would definitely have to be something pretty extensive if it is just a speed boost. But the more I'm thinking about it, the more I like the idea of it being like just a pure charge. And speaking of it being a charge, I'm just gonna steal the code for the launching and drag that in over here. I think of the piercing. I think if it was a piercing skewer like charge, that would be cool. That is also a good idea. Like you could go fast and then boom, go through a whole crowd of enemies. Combo with the uppercut after. Yeah. There's a lot of ideas. I think for now I'm gonna keep it simple of just like you push through enemies and deal some damage to them, because I can immediately think of ways to apply that without it overlapping too much with some of the other items, because it'll have a weaker knockback effect than the shotgun, but it'll have AoE potential and repositioning potential at the same time. Whereas I think comboing into uppercut that could potentially step on the toes of the other weapons a little bit. But again, very much in the experimental phase. Nothing is decided with this. Alright, let's go with 6,000, I don't know. Probably gonna need to be more than that. Yeah, that's pretty intense actually. Oh, wait. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, no, it shouldn't do that. It shouldn't do that. Oh wait, but I wanted to yeah, I didn't think about that. What if I just set this to 0? It just doesn't give you any Z. Because I like that feels pretty fun to do, but it kind of steps on the toes. Isn't it like an air dash? There is a dash, it's just not an air dash. You can hold shift, wait till the cursor flashes, and then release it to do a boost. But that also will drastically increase your gravity. And that's actually using that gravity boost with let's get Bouncer in here. Using the gravity with the uppercut is actually a lot of fun, because you can like keep yourself from getting really bounced away, which makes it a really good combo tool with the uppercut. So you can basically like tank a hit with that and then uppercut. Okay, back to coding. So what this will do, yeah, is launch character. Now how would I just launch things away from like a hitbox? That sounds complicated. Would be funny if the Spider-Man gesture was a grapple, but also be hard to balance. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of comments about a grappling hook. It's a really cool idea, but like you're right about it being a balancing nightmare. Like if you want to make a grapple hook like that really fun, you kind of have to like let the player go wild with it. I guess you could do like an ultra kill situation where like you take a lot of damage from using it if you don't have a high combo meter anyways. But if you are playing well, then you know it's pretty free. I'm sure like somebody's out there's got like a tutorial on how to code a. Let me just check this actually. Unreal Engine grappling hook. Yeah, there's a grappling hook tutorial that's 10 minutes long, so that actually seems extremely doable. Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I were to say a grappling hook doesn't sound fun. But I think it would need kind of a unique twist, you know? Because grapple hooks are I mean, they're fun and common for a reason, because it's people like grappling hooks. I mean, who doesn't? But at the same time, I feel like it needs like a twist, you know? It needs a little secret sauce. It needs a little extra spice. What makes it fit in this game specifically? And that's a difficult question. Okay, how do I code this? Drain more juice the longer you grapple. That'd be a good way to balance it. But yeah, because I want you to be able to synergize a lot of these different weapons together, and I think if everything has too high of a juice cost, then I'm concerned that you wouldn't get to switch between the weapons and use a lot of them often. Like, you'd kind of be locked in using same couple of different things. Like Whiplash from Ultra Killer lowers your max HP for a bit with juice instead. That is interesting. You guys got good ideas. Yeah, I'll have to really think on the grapple hook idea, though, because it is fun. I like it. It needs like a twist, you know? It needs something extra. At the very least, I feel like it needs a cool synergy that I feel like I can work with. I do have the idea for like the hand weapon where like it grapples an enemy in. So maybe like you like tether yourself to an enemy and then use them as like the grapple point. So it's more or less effective depending on the enemy, and you could like pull them with you or something. Mouth grapple hook where you bite stuff? You're thinking of grapple, yeah. It's very Ultra Kill-ish, which, I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind that. Let me, There we go. Yeah, I don't mind if it's similar to Ultra Kill. I like Ultra Kill. Very fun game. But at the same time, it gotta be something unique. Is there an HP system? No. Technically. There is a damage system. This guy doesn't show it because he just bounces you away. But whenever you take damage, you enter, like, your screen turns red, everything shakes a little bit. And if you take damage again, then you die and have to respawn. So it's very Katana Zero, Hotline Miami sort of deal, where you can take damage once and then you immediately die. But giving a little bit more leeway, I think that'll just make the game feel a little bit more comfortable to play. How do you lose? Yeah, it's just if you die, if you get hit too many times in succession. Alternatively, if you fall off, then you'll instantly die, but I haven't coded that in yet. But generally, it's kind of like a Wario Land deal, where, like Wario Land 3, Pizza Tower, that kind of thing, where dying isn't really a major concern. Like, it can be on certain levels, but the main challenge is going to be getting good and going as fast as you can. Like, I want the main levels to be reasonably beatable by just about anybody, but I want there to still have that high skill ceiling for, like, speedrunning and skill expression and whatnot. That's the thought process. Anyways, the mouth grapple hook. I don't know how to balance that, and it feels a little bit out of the theme of, like, everything being fist weapons, but objectively a very funny idea to, like, bite things and as, like biting onto, like, a steel pillar and then swinging around or something is a sick idea. I just don't know if it works specifically here. See, you should make that game. Mouth game. Whoop. Come on. Oh, beeped it. Okay. Anyways, I've gotten extremely distracted. I was supposed to be coding the bull charge. Alright, so how do I blast everything away from me? I could do an impulse. No, impulses only work on things that are affected by physics. And like real physics. And that doesn't really work for the enemies, because they'll just like fall over really easily and it doesn't work. This game needs a hard drive with survival mode. That'd be a cool mode to add. I could see that being like an update or something. Because I do quite enjoy my Resident Evil Mercenaries modes. Why am I forgetting the name of Ultra Kills? I play it all the time. Man. But if you make the phone hand have different effects the longer you charge it. That could be a good way to like fill like downtime if you're running from long spaces. You could use that as sort of something to fill the blanks. COD Zombies? I haven't played COD Zombies. It does seem like fun. But yeah, I like that kind of... I think horde modes are pretty cool. But like I said, I'm graduating college relatively soon. So, my primary concern is just to have a finished game, you know? I'm trying to figure out how I want to actually code this. Because these are all good ideas, but I'm trying to figure out how to actually practically put this charge into function. Because it's a good idea of like being a movement tool / utility / like get off me tool. It's like if you're surrounded by enemies, you can zoom through. So maybe it'll be like primarily an escape tool more than anything else. I'll go with that for now, but that is open to change as the game goes on. Without an open hand, we can grab, throw an enemy like Pizza Tower. I actually do have something kind of like that planned, where it's an open hand, but you just like kind of force pull an enemy into you. And that one I think that could sort of double as like a grappling hook, because maybe it'll pull you towards the enemy and the enemy towards you, something like that. Maybe it even literally just follows the Ultra Kill school of you grapple onto an enemy, and if they're a heavy enemy, you go to them, and if they're a light enemy, then they come to you, that sort of thing. But yeah, that'll be both a way to get enemies closer to you, get you closer to the enemy, leads in extra combos, and also would be a potentially a grappling hook solution. Sometimes we live when we play rock, paper, scissors, someone pulls out God, all 5 fingers repeatedly closing and opening like magic can be Easter egg to this in the RPS level. Alright, you're probably gonna have to remind me about that, but that sounds cool. I like Easter eggs and bonuses, especially for my for the people who are in on this early. Remember, you guys are the early adopters. Okay, yeah, so we've got launch character, and we're gonna set we're gonna go ahead and do the timer actually, yeah. We'll make this cost 30, I think, for basically a burst. Feels like that's pretty reasonable. That's the wrong one. Nope, that's the wrong one still. Then hook you up to a branch. And if the timer is false, then we run the rest of the code as intended. We will, I'm gonna get this and set invuln to true. Now we get rid of my toothpick. So this will briefly set you to be invulnerable. And then we're gonna set rock on timer to true. And then delay, say like 1. Maybe like you can only use it like once every second, so you can't spam it. You should stream on Twitch for the possibility of users giving donations. I know there are options on YouTube, because my main thinking with like streaming on YouTube over Twitch is because I did Twitch for a while, and already like this is the highest viewer numbers I've ever had on a stream. So that's pretty cool. Just because that one video happened to do pretty well, and people found it. Yeah, but I like doing the streams on the same place where I'm putting like the devlogs. I feel like it kind of helps keep things more condensed. You know, people don't have to go to a different platform from where they originally found me. But anyways, I appreciate the thought of people wanting to donate. I feel like I'm a little early on in the game to be like asking for stuff. I mean, that's not particularly reasonable, because especially like for a stream, if you just feel like contributing like, you know, $2 or something, there's not really a good reason to not be willing to accept something like that. But that's how my brain works. Best part of making a game is playing it for yourself. Yeah, yeah, that's the most fun thing, is that what I'm doing is basically like, obviously I'm making it for other people to play too, you know, I want people to play it, but like I'm making it for me, you know? Like it's all to my taste, basically. It's like I want to make the perfect game for myself, and I hope that other people also like that, you know? I saw the title of devlog one, I was hooked. Okay, that's good. Very good. I worry about making an actually good like title. It's something that people that actually want to watch and click on. So I'm glad that actually works. Anyways, I was not paying attention. Actually, I don't know if I need to do this. I don't know if I need the timer. I think I can just make the player invincible for, like, probably about that long. And then set invuln. Not hooked up to here. Set invuln to false. Okay, so now it should cost 30 juice and send me careening forwards. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Boom. Ah, that's maybe a little too fast. Maybe a little too fast. Whoop. Whoop. Oh, that was weird. Okay, you know what? Get out of here. That is pretty potent. Whoop. How does that combo with... Well, I got an idea. Holy moly, you go far with that. That's pretty fun. That's pretty fun. That's pretty nutso movement. I think that's one of the things I'm most excited about with this, is like the potential of somebody who's much better at the game than I am playing it, which I think is sick. You know? Like the idea that I could put something out there, have all this crazy stuff in it, and somebody could come up with things that I've never even thought about or intended and can pull off some nutso stuff, that would be awesome. That'd be so cool. Yeah, we're tripping. Game for the game comes out and some speedrun will beat it in 11:53. That would be awesome. Although I don't know if that'll be an impressive time or not, because I don't know how much I've said this, but I expect the game will be relatively like short if you're trying to, especially if you're speedrunning it. Because I'm imagining this will take somewhere in the ballpark of like 1 to 2 hours, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on the person, just to like finish it. But the real trick will be getting the good ranks and going as fast as he can, and the big challenge of completing the entire game without ever dropping the combo. That's like my sort of maximum, ultimate final challenge that I've got in mind. And that'll be really, really hard, I imagine. Okay, let's see if... Uh-oh. Let's see if the... okay, hold on, I didn't get to test it. Hey, it works! It works, you're invincible. Problem is, you still collide with enemies, which isn't really what I didn't really think about how you would just hit them, because I want you to be able to go through enemies while it's active. Can I just, like, disable pawn collision? Is that an option? What are the ranks? Oh, I guess I don't know if I really talked about that, huh? Well, I'll probably go over it again in the next devlog. Yeah. So there's mediocre, beat the level, kind of slow. Legendary, which is beat the game but fast, or meet the level but fast. Void champion for beat the level but pretty fast, and keeping up your combo the entire time. And then there's Ultra Void Champion, which is beat the entire stage without ever dropping the combo, while beating the developer time. There's an achievement for beating the game while never dropping your combo. That'd be so cool. That is planned. Don't worry. That is one of the main. That is one of the things I want to include. Supreme Bouncer. Yeah. We'll have the equivalent of the P rank stages from Ultra Kill. That is actually. Oh wait, I didn't even think about that. But having a bonus stage that you unlock by getting all the I guess V ranks probably. Yeah, V ranks. Having a bonus stage would be really cool, and I think I'm gonna have to do that now. What if the ranks were shown as gestures? Oh, that makes sense. Like if you get the bad rank, then you get this one, and if you get like a better rank, you get this. And it's like this is mediocre. Actually, this is mediocre. This or this is mediocre. This is champion. This is legendary. This is champion, and then this is ultra. Whoops. Holy moly, I keep forgetting how fast he is. Okay, so is there a way to just, like, disable pawn collision? I've never actually tested this. Collision. Now get component bounce. Collision. Can I set collide? Set collision enabled. That seems dangerous. What if I just set this to... What if I set collision to no collision? What happens if I do that? Will I just fall through the floor, is the question. Middle finger weapon where you do nothing but taunt the enemy. Oh, don't worry. We've already, we got that one in. But it just makes you invulnerable while it's active. Oh, yeah, somebody in chat already answered that. Yeah, don't worry. If I'm making a game with like the hand as a gun, middle finger's got to be that. Like that was one of the first ones that I make sure to include. Okay, yep, that was the concern. That was the concern. It just enabled collision. No physics collision. No query collision. Querying physics, probe only. Okay, I don't know what any of this means, so I'm just gonna try a bunch of these and see if any of them work. Nope. Physics only. I don't think physics only is gonna work, because I don't think anything I'm doing is like... nope, that's... Okay, no, physics is the one I'm looking for. Or the collision I need. I don't know if there's a way to just, like, set it so that you don't collide with a pawn. Nope. Okay, so every time I do that, then I just start going through the floor. Because I guess I could... What if instead of removing your own collision, you remove enemies' collision while you use it? Yeah, that's probably going to be the best bet. Yeah, that's probably going to be the best option. I just need to make sure that it can't collide with other pawns and actors, but can still collide with the world. Because I don't want enemies to just like fall through the floor when you press like this button and then all the enemies just fall into nothingness. As funny as that would be. Ow. Game dev is hard for me because I can't understand half the settings on my screen, lol. Hey, don't worry. I don't use a lot of what's on screen. You just kind of eventually figure out what you do and don't need. Like, I watched a Blender tutorial that had a really good way of putting it, where it's like, there's all of this stuff, but realistically you're going to be able to do all of the stuff that you need with, like, a pretty limited set of tools, really. And then if there's something hyper-specific that's difficult, then you can find, like, that niche tutorial that fits your need. You know, so like that. Because otherwise, yeah, it's very easy to be overwhelmed, especially like learning something like Unreal. Because I spent like a year learning this engine, and I still feel like I don't know what I'm doing. And it's just how it goes. Okay, so let's test with the collision. Just see how we would make it. How would we make it so that the enemies don't collide? What if I say no collision? What if it's got no collision? Will that fall through the floor? Probably will, right? Yep. Okay, we got no collision, block all, overlap all, block all dynamic, ignore only pawn. Ignore only pawn, huh? Okay. What about ignore only actor? Physics actor, overlap only pawn, pawn, spectator, character mesh, physics actor, destructible, ragdoll, UI projectile. What if it's a ragdoll? This is not, I don't think this is gonna do anything. I'm just curious to see what this does. Why didn't you go anywhere? Alright, we're just gonna go back to the, pawn. I think I'll probably watch a tutorial or something. Inverse thumbs up, all fingers except thumb. Should be slapping that does barely any damage. This is as like a meme option. I do like meme options, but I kind of feel like it should have some utility, even if it's like niche or purely for like flashy points, you know? Like that's something I think TF2 is pretty good about, is like taunts and having taunt kills. So it's something that doesn't seem like it would have utility, but it does. And for some reason I find that very amusing. Okay. So, Um, I'm not too sure where exactly I want to take this weapon, so I'm gonna come back to that a little later, I think, once I've had some time to think on that. So for the rest of the stream, I think what we're gonna do is level design, baby. Spring Bouncer was ultra realistic and buff and use the fingers fall. That'd be so cool. It probably wouldn't be like a big bouncer, but I do like the idea that it's a boss that would have your same like hand sigil power. I don't know if I mentioned this. I call the different poses sigils. I keep missing that. Luigi on SSBU. What do you mean by that? I don't know what you mean. Like he can grab you and with his plunger and then do like a 70% combo and then kill you off of one hit. I guess you could kind of do that in this game. Slap could be a parry. That would be a good parry. That would be a good parry. That's a good point. I wonder if there's a Unreal parry tutorial. Ah, there's a parry tutorial. Okay, well, yeah, there is people have options for it. Luigi's taunt can kill. Ah, okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Excellent point. Okay, yeah, sorry. I forgot about I forgot about that part of the conversation. Yeah. Yeah, I love stuff like that, where it's like purely flashy. And the ability to not sugarcoat it. Yeah, it plays the like loud sound effect and fills the entire screen every time you hit the parry. Plays an extremely loud vine boom. That'd be a good like April Fool's update, I guess. Which hey, considering the planned release date is sometime in April of 25, and you never know. It's outdated. Well, everything's outdated. I won't lie. I still think it's kind of funny when like it's a video of somebody parrying every single attack in like the Street Fighter match or something. Hidden setting. I think I'd be cool with like making a full like joke version of the game. It definitely wouldn't be I definitely wouldn't have that play. I wouldn't have that play like normally by default. But if you had entered like a cheat code or something and accessed like a joke version of the game where there's a bunch of dumb changes, I think that'd be a fun thing to include. What was I doing? Yes, level design. Doi. Okay, let's go ahead and go to level prototyping. Actually no, it's not level prototyping, it's maps. Demo level 1. Okay, so this is a little stage that I made just to test generally the jumping distance mostly. I feel like this feels pretty good. A little less so on the way back, but this is a good sort of spacing. I feel like this is a good way to start a level, especially. You just sort of bounce around. So this is going to be the start of our demo level. I'm thinking I'm going to have one stage where it's just the 2 melee enemies we've got right now, and then a second stage where it introduces a projectile gun-based enemy. So for now, I'm just going to worry I can do some good level designing with just the 2 enemies that we've got. And this is mostly exploratory, just to see what kind of scenarios the enemies work well in. Yeah, the funny mode. Make a level with a waterfall. I do actually kind of have an idea for like a waterfall in a level. I do like secret passages. Yeah. This game art style not remind you of indie game Pizza Tower. Well, fun. I'm doing this joke again. I don't know if it's really a joke. Boy, oh boy, do I have some feelings about Pizza Tower? I've got some feelings about Pizza Tower with all 74 achievements. Yeah, it definitely is Pizza Tower-y. And that is, that influence is definitely a factor. I love Pizza Tower. What is the main character? Do they have a name? They don't have a name actively, like not a name. I'm calling him the Void Hunter. I'll get a little bit into the plot, I guess. The generalized idea. Yeah, Pizza Tower is a big fan of that one. Anyways, they're called the Void Hunter because they're part of a group that tries to hunt down these things called voids, which appear at various spots in the Earth to pull everything into it and absorb its energy for itself. And your goal is to go around and kill those. And this game takes place in pretty much entirely inside of one of them, and it's called the Void Collector. It's basically the end-all, be-all of Void. It's where they all sort of go home to roost. So you spend the game inside this giant, mixed-up mesh of different places that have all been pulled in over different eras and periods of time from different places across the Earth, and all meshed together in one big goop. That's the general gist. So you're the Void Hunter. Your goal is to go around and delete voids off the face of the Earth, basically. Anyways, level design. So this is I feel like this is a good way to start the level. Just make sure that you're on your feet. Make sure you know how to jump. Let's go to brush editing and pen tool. Don't really need this guy right now. We can pull the content browser down a little bit. All right. Which one is top down? I always forget. This one's top. So this is where the player starts. Okay, so what we want to do is make another platform. This is going to be the first introduction to proper enemy combat, I'm thinking. So let's get the pen tool and just drag out a bit of loose geometry. Enter. There we go. Now we've got ourselves a nice little closed off piece of geometry. Then if we move that down a little bit, there we go. So that's where I'm thinking we'll have our first fight with some enemies. It's kind of like Area 0 from Pokemon Scarlet Violet. I've not played Scarlet Violet. So what does that mean? PNG mode cheat code? Like everything are fake PNGs? Speedrunners gonna love the rush weapon. I hope so. I hope speedrunners have fun with this game. Because I think I've got a good sense for what makes a fun speed game, because I've played a good handful of them in my time, in my days. So, you know, we'll see. And let's go ahead and make a couple little offshoot platforms here that you can jump to, or you can simply use to take out the enemies. And this will be a way to sort of add a couple extra enemies to the level, because the whole goal is to kill as many enemies as possible. So I'm going to copy paste, drag another one over here, and now we've got ourselves a nice little spot to kill a couple enemies. Now we're going to add a bit of a walkway to another section of the stage. Enter. Enter. Okay. That didn't actually make it somehow. Try that again. Just going to go space, 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 and enter. Go. Got ourselves another polygon in. And I don't really have a level theme for this figured out yet. Yeah, we'll see. Area 0 is where all the past, future Pokemon variants come from. Oh, okay. Yeah. In that case, yeah. It's kind of like that. Stock image mode. Oh, okay. That's what you meant by the PNG mode. That'd be a lot of work. I'm just picturing, like, finding stock images for everything. That would be very funny, though. Alright, let's close this out and rotate. And this will be a little bit of a... Actually, we can probably rotate that a little bit further. And we can move that in. I'll worry about the polish details later. I don't need to be thinking about how to make the level look a little nicer and more textured yet. Not really actually putting textures in for a while still. I want to make sure I've got a good level in first before I worry too hard about the visuals of it. Because for the first demo, I'm not even really planning to have like level textures finished yet. It's not really too important at this stage. Whoops. I can imagine a summoner-like enemy. Like they spawn more cells. That'd be pretty interesting. Especially considering the goal of the game, that would be... They would fit in... They'd fit in pretty naturally. Oh, I'm not in the right mode. Okay. Let's give this geometry a go. See if how that feels to navigate. Oh, there's a hole in that collision. Okay, so you definitely couldn't reach that platform without a boost. So that'll either require the player to switch to one of these weapons, like one of the boost-based weapons, or use their dash. Yeah, that works. I like that. You should make the skybox more purple, gives more of a weighty vibe. That makes sense. I'll figure that out more once I've got a better idea of what the stage gimmick is going to be. But yeah, purpley vibes, definitely a good call. Spawn tiny dudes, gives some combo for no cheese. Yeah, that would make sense. That would fit pretty well. Alright, let's go to the enemy section. And let's start putting some bad guys in. Let's start with two pretty... Oh, that's the wrong guy. Oh! The engine crashed. Weird. It just didn't really like that. Oh no, you guys can see that I've played Buckshot Roulette and Gungeon and Team Fortress 2. Oh no. Purpley, bluey, black with more red pink at the bottom would be cool. That's a nice gradient, yeah. Add signs to help on the first few levels, like use fist. Yeah, I'm thinking I'll have like a dedicated like tutorial stage, probably, where you have to like use each weapon in order to progress. But yeah, especially in the first couple of stages when the player's getting used to it, definitely would not hurt to have some additional options, or not additional options, but things that read a little clearer. All right, let's go back to the demo level now that the game uncrashed. Does anyone autosave progress? Sometimes I save like constantly though, so I've never lost anything of like real substance because I like hit Control S every 15 seconds. Yeah, recently played Gato Roboto. Pretty cool game. Very clever. Okay, so this guy isn't just gonna like walk off, does he? He shouldn't. And we got some enemies. They shouldn't move until I'm someplace they can reach. Oh wait, they're not gonna move at all because I haven't put in a nav mesh. That's not what it's called. What is it called again? Nav mesh is what they call it in TF2. Mesh? No, it is a nav mesh. Okay, what was it? I'm just dumb, I guess. Whoop. Okay, we're gonna make this just really big. Whoops. Hey, it built the navigation really quick. Should have a boss that's in a mech suit. I don't really have any specific plan. Oh. That's potentially a problem. He's edgeguarding me. That's gonna be something I have to work with. And the ledge there is kind of jank. Right now I'm only planning to have one boss fight like at the end. Because I think a lot of the fun of the game will be more focused on like the regular enemy encounters. But we'll see. I'm not super set on anything yet. Although now I'm realizing that Slapmo is not getting launched by the shotgun very far. Oh, it's doing... Yeah, I know what it's doing. There we go. I had a spot where it would do a little bit of knockback, regardless of what gun you use, and that was overriding any form of knockback. Which is obviously a problem. Oh, I keep slipping off the edge. I think the way that the platforms are shaped is screwing with it. I accidentally pressed the button that makes you automatically take damage, which was just there for testing. But I forgot about it. Oop. Yeah, like that ledge there is a little janky. Oh, he's not going far back at all, is he? like these guys are probably good to snipe. Yeah, not the most fun to fight, actually. I'm probably gonna have to rework that a little. This would be a good place to... this would be a good place to, like, actually trimp. Yeah, kind of kills your momentum going uphill, actually. We'll see, we'll see. Maybe should go back to their spawn location, avoid ledge guarding. Yeah, I definitely prefer the idea that they don't just immediately start running towards you at all times. Why do the uncoded sigils have thicker outlines? Well, this one, it's honestly just how I drew it. I accidentally drew these lines thicker than I did for these ones. I don't know if I actually dislike that, though. Because it sort of prevents the upside of subtly letting you know if you're in a weapon more clearly. I think generally they look pretty apparent, but, like, it's... with the shake and everything, it's, like, probably not that difficult. But the subtle difference, to me, is enough to not look too jarring, but still have, you know, like, some form of communication. But maybe that's just me lazily trying to justify not redrawing sprites. You're still not taking a whole lot of knockback. Ouch. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to make the enemies not just camp on ledges. That doesn't seem like it'll be a whole lot of fun to fight around. That's probably a pretty complicated coding question that's not going to be particularly fun to watch debug, so I think that's something I'm probably going to do. That's something I think I'm going to do outside of stream. Speaking of which, I'm probably not going to go for too much longer because I'm starting to feel my my throat getting a little sore. Okay, so how do we want to rework this into something a little bit more interesting? And how do we really take advantage of this game's fun and cool movement tech? Whoops. Here's an idea. Nope. Okay, I need to figure out a way to let you, like, let the player, like, surf a little. It's like, in TF2, if you're, like, rocket jumping, you're sticky jumping, you're using a demo charge, anything, you can, like, slide up an edge, basically, like, while you're going fast. And that is really cool. And I want to figure out how to make something like that feel a little bit more natural. Yeah, see, something's wrong there, where I guess, like, I don't jump fast enough, and it kind of, like, pulls me down the side of the ledge. I think it's probably just because it's protruding, actually. So if we go to brush editing mode, grab this point, pull it in, grab this point, pull it in, then maybe that won't be as much of an issue. No, still not really getting that jump, because I'm pressing jump quite a bit to try to, yeah, and I'm just sort of surfing over it. I'm not getting proper airtime like it's a ramp, which is what I would like it to do. Yeah, see, it kind of worked there, but, like, still, didn't really work quite the way I want it to. They're gonna be ranged enemies. Yes. As a matter of fact, it this guy is the next enemy I'm putting in. I didn't want to code him today because I'd have to learn how to actually spawn projectiles and stuff, which I don't think will be very fun to watch me do. So maybe I'll figure that out and save that for the next time. But who knows? We'll see. By the way, his name's Gunther. All right, let's pull the actual stream back up. Yeah. Glad to see the excitement for Gunther. Might be holding it down from gliding up because the rush is no Z. That is a very good point. I could just not have the Z be affected by the vector, actually. Yeah, I think I was overthinking it. Yeah. I just don't plug this in. And I'll add a boost of like, say 1,000? Maybe that'll be enough. Let's see if that lets us properly surf. Whoa. Okay, 10. If it's like 10, because that's too high. Whoops. Like maybe any amount of Z velocity will help. I don't know if that did anything. Hold on, we're gonna get this. I'm gonna get a cool... Yeah! Nope. Dang. What about 100? Wait, what if it's a Z? What if it overrides Z? Because... I'll explain what this does a little bit. So you've got launch velocity in the X and Y direction, and that's just like... That's your left, right, forward, backwards, that's your X and Y. And then Z is your up and down. So you can have your X and Y override and Z override. So... What that was doing was just adding it to the Z value. Maybe if it entirely resets your Z value, then that'll let you do it more effectively. No? Okay, still doesn't work. Maybe I'm just timing it wrong. It kind of worked. Kind of. Yeah, okay, that's the issue. I keep like getting stuck to the ledge and like it sort of pulls me down with it. I think it's just maybe ledges are just jank. Maybe the because it's like an angled surface, and Unreal, the character doesn't really know how to do that. I don't know. I don't know why I said that like that. Made me sound like I was a long-time smoker. Okay. Alright, I'm a little bit at a loss. The Rock-On is 10010. Yeah. Assuming that being actually wait no. Because these are technically being down is technically being active, so it's 01101. Yeah. Even I'm getting the notation confused. Okay, let's try another ledge to see if maybe it's just like the way that one is made is the problem. Okay, I gotta get used to switching to the Rock-On. I clearly have not practiced that at all. Oh, that was decent. That was actually something. Oh, that was good. Wait, how'd that happen? Why'd that one work? That was pretty. Now that was slick. Wait, hold on. It's like maybe you approach from this angle. Pretty good. Hey, welcome, Game Planner Animations. Thanks for joining in. Appreciate the kind words. Oh, I don't know if I said anything about this yet, but right now, current plan is devlogs, maybe like every Friday. Obviously, it's going to depend on if I have anything worth showing. Like sometimes I'll have a week where like sometimes I'll be honest, I'll just not going to feel in the mood to program. Sometimes my brain just shuts off. But what's going to happen most of the time probably is that I'll spend a lot of time coding, but it's going to be like minor balancing stuff, and I don't know if that's really what people are interested in seeing. I don't know. If you had a little bit of coyote time, it'd be extra smooth. What is coyote time? Is that like leniency for like a jump or something? Okay. New idea for this intro level actually. I'm gonna get rid of the enemies for now. Because I'm thinking I want to start the first level by just being, forget even enemies for now. Right now, the goal should just be to test the movement and see if that's fun or not. And then we can worry about the enemies and how they interact with the player and the environment and whatnot. So for now, let's just make a fun physics playground, and we can worry about the rest of it from there. Like gliding a little over the edge before you. Oh yeah. Because Wile E. Coyote. Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah. I had heard the term. Well, I know what you're talking about. I just didn't know of the term. I don't know how to do that. I will figure out how to do that though. That is a very good idea to include. I like that a lot. So yes, that is. You know what? Before I forget, I'm going to go ahead and add that to my list of things to add. And Coyote time. Boom. I don't know if it will help. It'll make the game feel more responsive, regardless. Even if it doesn't really help with the whole like momentum kind of getting killed on ledges issue, it'll at least make getting jumps off of ledges and like the platforming feel smoother. Might be unnecessary. I think if it makes the game feel better, it's definitely worth it. Because game feel is very, very, very important. Like that's one of the I'd argue probably the most important thing. Maybe not the most important. If the level design is good, then it doesn't matter how good. If the level design sucks, it doesn't matter how good the game feel is. But having a good game feel is so critical. And that's why I've spent so much time like trying to make like a little jolt whenever you shoot, and the UI zipping back, and like all the stuff I've been trying to do, because I really want to emphasize the game feeling and looking good. Bit curious about using only the thumb will do. Being a thumbs up and probably do some kind of supportive move. I haven't really thought about a thumb only move. Someone suggested it's like a grenade. Yeah, like you could pop the thumb off and then chuck it, or chuck the hand. I didn't quite get I don't exactly have a vision for how that would work. But I do really like the idea of grenade launching. There's another idea. Well, someone had the idea that you could do like a T thing that would give you health back. A thumbs up could also like cost juice to instantly restore your health back, or get you back into the healthy state. That's an idea I'm cool with. Likely one of those. If it gets implemented at all, it's gonna be likely one of those two options. Anyways, level. Okay, so we've got this little area. It's like a nice little bit of trimping you can do. So what I'm gonna do we have stair? No, those aren't in place actors. That's in place shapes. Do I have a window for that? I'll admit, level building I've not done a whole lot. So this is an area I'll admit I'm not the most experienced in quite yet. This is something I'm gonna have to learn a lot in this process. Take out a health bar, or maybe make it a health meter or something. I'm thinking for now I'm just gonna keep it as like you get hit once, you get put in a weak state, and if you get hit again, you die. And if you wait long enough while in the weak state, then you get put back out into normal mode. That's the current plan. I think just sort of going with that like fast nature of the game, I feel like that'll be the most intuitive. Whoops. Whatever. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, so let's do a little section here to whoops. It's a little section here to showcase upwards momentum. So let's just drag a cube in for I guess why not? So just thinking, hesitate on the health bar since you haven't been health yet, seemingly. Yeah. I made a lot of the UI for a health system, but I'm still right now I'm leaning against including like having a full like health system. Not that that's like a bad thing, but I think I kind of prefer the simpler approach of just like, I guess it's kind of like Halo. Is there a way to just like to make a triangle? But just like, what if I just do this? Yeah, it's a triangle. And then we can go back here. Drag it over. And then rotate. And I should have angle lock on. Why don't I have angle lock? And rotate. And scale it down. And there we go. Now we got ourselves a little ramp. That's still a little too tall, actually. Yeah, it's definitely a little jank the way I'm doing things right now. I'm gonna have to look into better options. Interesting health system. Maybe if we go with the thumb head idea, it could instantly get you to health, but cost almost all of your juice. Yeah, that's kind of the general direction I was thinking. Like, you could use that, and then it would take a lot of juice, but you immediately get back to healthy. Yeah, I said it, and then I see the chat message. Yeah, exactly. You got it. Will there be wall jumps? Right now I'm planning for no, just because wall jumps are tricky from like a balance perspective, and I kind of want to focus most of the platforming and difficulty and stuff on the unique stuff. Each thumb. Now I was thinking you just do the thumb, and then like it's like a big thumbs up, like an exuberant thumbs up, and you get your health back. I wasn't thinking you eat the thumb to get the health back, but that is funnier actually. Okay, so it's like, oh, like you can walk up this ramp, or you can be cool and jump up the ramp. Okay, so you can go boom. I'll admit, even as the guy who's been making the game, getting used to the weapon switching system is kind of difficult. But that feels pretty good to do. That feels quite fun. Alright, let's go to... where did I put this? There it is. Juice pickup. And we'll put one of these guys right on top. Is this the old one? It is, okay. I was gonna mention this. This is, I had an idea for a health system called, it was gonna be called Juice and Brain. Juice for the, resource, and then Brain for your health meter. So this was the icon. I really like how this one came out. So I'm a little sad I don't really have a place to use it right now. Although I could just keep it in, but it immediately gets you out of the damage state. That'd probably be a better way to implement it. It's a cooldown that I'm gonna be bitten off until it regenerates. You guys got good ideas. Oop, hold on. I can get a clean run. Wait, hold on. I can get a clean run. Wait, hold on. Ooh, the Rakan is a little tricky to switch to. Nope, hold on. We can do better. Oh, I overshot it. Move it back a little. And let's grab one of these guys. And pull them up here. And you've got yourself another platform to jump to. Hitting the thumb disables thumb weapons. That'd be a really big downside. Like, you immediately get yourself faster, but you can't use, not being able to use the pistol or the double barrel would be pretty bad. Like, that would be a big cost. Which, not saying that's a bad thing. I think that being very expensive is a good thing, because a lot of games, I think the main difficulty you can have with like good difficulty balancing is making healing too plentiful. Like, it's kind of impossible for like the Yakuza games to have like good difficulty balance, because you can just stock so many healing items that getting hit like never matters. So not only having it cost a resource, be on a cooldown, but also disable other options is a pretty cool idea. That would be like one heck of a limiter. There we go. Boom. Nope. I hate debug mode. I'm in the... Yeah, well, this actually looks very voidy right now. I kind of like how that skybox looks, actually. It's genuinely pretty cool. Okay. So you go boom. Boom. He overshot it again. Maybe someone give higher speed. It's more of a 2 to 5 second cooldown without changing weapons. That would also make sense. But then you're just exchanging the cooldown of like waiting for your health to come back for a different cooldown of the thumb. Okay, I'm starting to feel it. Let me just try this a little bit more. I wanna really see. Nope, I keep pressing the wrong buttons. This game is gonna be hard. Like knowing where your what fingers are currently active and using them effectively and comboing them together is going to be like way more difficult than I thought it was. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing quite yet, because I think the game having difficulty high skill expression is something that I want. Um, we'll see if it's too much or too little or whatever. Not like we really need to figure that out now, considering how early this game is. Would you be able to do bird without a thumb? Yeah, because that one just is this. Just pointer could be weaker but faster pistol. I was thinking the just pointer would be like more of a pierce melee. Pressing 2-3-5 from open hand leads to rock on, right? Yep, that does it. It's just going from 2-3-5 and then hitting 1-4 in quick succession and comboing them. It just takes some practice to get that down into your muscle memory, which again, not a bad thing, I think, because like I've spent a lot of time in like the Ultra Kill training room, just practicing different techniques, um, and I think doing that, like going out of your way to, well, I should probably have a practice room, shouldn't I? But going out of your way to really practice those different ideas is a lot of fun. Oh, what you got, Mr. Planet Animations? I don't know why I said that. I said it like that, rather. Alright, up. Alright, gamer posture check. Everyone out there, fix your posture. Everything you get the game ported to controller. Probably not. I don't really know how this would work. I mean, first-person shooters on console are inherently, or on controller are inherently kind of janky, unless you can like factor in like motion, like tilt control. But trying to figure out how to map the weapon system, I feel like it's very specifically like I feel like it's very specifically a computer game, Although obviously I'm not against the idea of the game being on more platforms. That'd be cool. You use gyro? Gyro's great. I like gyro a lot, yeah. Gyro is like the one thing that keeps controllers functional in like first-person shooters. Maybe just index could be like a slower sort of melee option, while the pinky finger is like a weaker but faster dagger option. So like just the index be like it's like a okay, so you could have like a wide slash versus like a more narrow hit. I like that idea. Giving some more melee options. I just need to figure out how to balance that. If you ported to VR, it would definitely need to be like a complete rework, because I think the movement focus everything right now, like if you try to play this right here in VR, you would get sick so fast. It would not be good. But especially if there's like a VR like hand, like a controller that can actually read each individual finger like accurately, which I think that exists. I just don't know if that's like adopted yet in game consoles. That would be very cool. Sometimes FPS games the controller give you auto aim. Yeah, I don't really prefer that option. It's just not. It just doesn't feel as satisfying as like the gyro does, because you're actually aiming with the gyro. Okay, let's do a little bit more level stuff. My throat's starting to give out on me, but I'm still going. I'm not out of it yet. That doesn't help that I talk fast and a lot. Okay, so we've got a little bit of use of everything, of the lunge and that. Oh, I know what I was gonna do. I know what I want to do. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a little platform here. Close that off. Pull it down a little. So this is gonna be a gravity tutorial. So it'll teach you how to use the gravity mechanic. And to do that, we're probably gonna want to pull this out a little bit further. And probably actually get rid of this guy. So we're gonna put this here. Pull it up a little bit more so it's more in line. And then do that right there. And then get another one right here. And we'll make it very tall. Let's move it down a little bit. So here's what I'm thinking for this section. So if we grab the player and we pull him on up, plonk him down right there, so we can test this without having to replay the whole stage. There we go. So something that you can do with the gravity is like I didn't even jump there. I just held down the boost button, let it go, and then you can clear the gap. Now I definitely need to make this a little smaller, but this will be a good way to teach the player how to properly use all of their tools. Yeah, I like that. I like that. And you know what? Let's even make this a little shorter so the player could theoretically get on top if they wanted to take like a shortcut. Because that's fun. Shortcuts are cool. Yeah, there we go. A little bit of skimming over the gap. Or you could... let's make it a little bit thinner so that way you could reach the top with an uppercut. Because I kind of like the idea of like having a section that goes upwards a little bit. Main character must have no connection on his fingers. Well, you can see the little gaps there, actually. I don't know, I try to point it with my fingers if you could see where I'm pointing on the screen. You can see the little gaps, yeah, where it's the sprites don't quite mesh. I don't really know what causes that. I'm gonna try to fix it by like messing with it, but I don't know. Make it a trapezoid. That'd be kind of cool because like you could theoretically surf up it, maybe. But now this works. You can get up top. All right. So something I really want to consider is I've got a lot of good ways of getting vertical momentum and vertical speed, or horizontal speed, but not vertical. Really all I've got is the big uppercut. So how exactly can we put that into practice? You know what? For one, here's something that I'm gonna probably need to do. Let's go to what do we want to call this? Let's make a new folder, and we'll call this interactables. So if we go into, let's get the juice pickup, and let's Control X. Whoop! I don't know how I grabbed that out. Gonna copy that over to interactable, and there we go. It feels like it makes a lot more sense in there. Oh boy, there's a lot of comments now. A shower in 10 minutes. Fair enough. Like I said, throat's starting to hurt, so I'm probably not streaming too much longer. Grenade launcher tum. Maybe have the index and pinky only weapons with bounce. They're significantly weaker than the fist, but the fist can be used if you have a thumb. So if you use your thumb, you need to do weaker options. Really going in all in on the going all in on the thumb eating. Meant like biology-wise, just try putting. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It's like, I mean, like this is doable, but like some of the individual poses you really cannot do realistically. That's for sure. Did I see a 100 emote? I did. Okay. I don't know why I find the 100 so funny, but I do. What was I gonna do? Yes. No, I know what I'm doing. Last thing for the day. Last thing. We're gonna go into blueprints. We're gonna make a pawn. We're gonna call it BP launcher. It's gonna be like a bounce pad. It's gonna be pretty simple. It's just gonna be collision box, and we're gonna get on component begin overlap, and we're going to cast to B. We're gonna cast to BP third. Okay, why can't I? Third. It's not third person. That's not the third person character. Blah, blah, blah. It's not the third person character. It's the first person character, and I keep saying it the other way around. Okay. Cast to BP first person character. There we go. And that's the overlap component. And then as first person character, launch character. And we're going to give them a Z override of 4,000. What's the issue? Why is this not working? This will cause the blueprint to always be loaded, which can be expensive. Tries to access object as blueprint class first character. Um, is it other actor maybe? So like that? Okay. Let's just go ahead and put the BP launcher right there, and we can see if that works. Okay, a little too much, a little too much. Let's try 2,000. Still pretty high. Let's try 1,500. That feels about right. And this won't actually be here in practice. This is just to test out how that would work. Okay, and then I'll add some fancy particles and stuff after the fact. But I will not worry about that quite for now, because it's been 2 hours. My throat's given out. My voice is getting hoarse. I'm not used to streaming, so that is gonna do it for today. Thank you again, everybody who showed up. This is probably the best stream I've ever had, because people were actually here, and that was a wonderful change of pace. So, once again, thank you very much to everybody who decided to show up. Very fun. I appreciate the support and your suggestions. Hopefully, should have another devlog out on Friday. Maybe do another stream later this week. We'll see. Maybe once my throat recovers. But yeah, that'll do it for today. Thank you very much for stopping in. See you guys next time, hopefully. Now, where's the stop streaming button? All right, thank you. Bye.